Well, this is a bit of a funny episode, to be honest, because I wouldn't say this is my strong point, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because I think we're both sat here with ADHD and have a different perspective, I don't know, of this.
Yeah, and money's not always an easy one. And we're going to be starting a little series, which is like the ADHD Girl's Guide to, and hopefully like being able to put some actual strategies in place for things that a lot of us struggle with. And money is a massive one. And I think I've only recently started getting good at money in like the last 3 years, because before I was absolutely shit at money. Whereas I'd like to think now I'm actually in a good space with money and have like a bit of a handle on it. But it is a journey. So yeah, this episode's for anyone, if you've ever checked your bank account, you've seen money sitting there and thought, oh yeah, that's really nice, I've got a bit of extra cash. And then you realise actually that's just salary, not like a little bit of bonus cash that you've got to spend. It's not bonus, it's not your salary. It's free money. It's not free money. It's free money. It's free money. Yeah, free single. This episode's for you. This episode's for us. We're not experts in money. But yeah, these are some of the tips that we've kind of put together that is quite helpful for ADHDers struggling with money. And it's not going to be like any other money episode podcast that you've listened to, because we're not financial gurus. We're not experts.
I am not a financial expert.
we're not here to fix you, because it's not something that can be fixed.
No.
It's not something you learn overnight. To build systems for people who are like us.
Yeah.
What would you say, Emily, is your most like ADHD money moment? I have a feeling like I know exactly what you're going to say to this, but I would like you to say it. And on
ADHD money moment,
like you look back and you see like exactly what's going on in your brain. Like, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, there's been a lot of weird ones, but I've got to say that getting that Pilates course was so ridiculous. What was I thinking? Obviously, I really want to get this course completed, but I should have completed it over a year ago. I've now been given an extension because I have ADHD, but I don't know who spends like of $2,000 or whatever it was on a Pilates course when you have literally never ever done reformer Pilates. And you know what I was thinking? And I really didn't like my job at the time, and I thought I'll just be a Pilates teacher. That's the answer to it, but still not completed it. So yeah,
I knew you were going to say that. That's the one that always comes up whenever I think about like money stuff. Very ADHD.
It's not great. What's yours?
I think I've always been lucky because I'm such a tight person that I've never like really made that much of a big spend on anything. But I think like I've never really until like last like couple of years been good at savings or anything like that. It was like everything, all my salary that went into my bank every single month would be spent. There'd be no savings, there'd be nothing like that, no real understanding of why it's good to save. And it'd be like, oh well, I've got this money, I can buy this, I can book a holiday. And it's more of like not having that forward thinking of like, okay, I've been paid at the end of the month, this has to last me a whole month, I'm just gonna fucking shit it out all now and just like spend all my money. And then like you get like 2 weeks in and you're like, shit, I've got nothing left. And that it was just in the moment of like, yeah, got it. It's like, when you get like you've got like a tax rebate. Yeah, you get all this money back and you're like, oh my God, like, free money, instantly spend that. Or like, even when I've like sent clothes back that I've actually bought, I've paid for.
And then you get the refund and then you're like, you're free money, I'm going to get more clothes.
Exactly. It's like, oh, well, I've already spent the money, so it doesn't count. Vinted was a big one for me actually. Like, when you sell clothes on Vinted and all the money just goes onto your Vinted balance. I would never withdraw it into my bank account. So it would never feel like, oh, this is my money. So it's just like, I can just buy more stuff on Vinted because it's in my
Vinted account.
Vinted account. Even like cash. I'm like, cash doesn't count. Cash doesn't
Cash
count.
does-
Oh my God, I've run like a tenner in my bag. Spend it.
Spend it instantly. It's so weird because you can't quantify it in like in your bank. When it's weird, isn't it? That thing with cash.
It's like, it just doesn't count. But I've always, like, for as long as I can remember, just been constantly stressed out about money and finances, and like, just constantly worried about like how much I'm spending.
Yeah.
But I'm not really doing anything to like put those systems in place and actually help myself with it. And I'm quite lucky that I've got Matt, because Matt is very different to me. Like, he's a numbers person. He's always been very like financially savvy and like had understanding of savings and things like that. I remember when we first started dating and like talking about finances, and him being like, "Oh, you don't have a savings account." I'm like, "No, I don't have a savings account." And then him showing me like a savings account, and I like stocks and shares. And I think being able to see what life is like when you can actually like get a hold of your finances through him has been really helpful for me, just to be able to understand, and also like him just tell me what to do, because if he wasn't sat there telling me, "Oh, you need to put your money in this, you need to do this," I probably wouldn't do it. Because I'm not going to sit there and research ISAs and things like that person. So I would never do it personally. So it's really helpful if you
To
just
have
have
him there,
just have
to
someone be like, "Do this."
I mean, I will say that for me, it was interesting. So I was actually talking to my boyfriend about this the other day, and I was saying that I think that one of the things that embarrasses me the most is my relationship with money. And I'm so glad that now I've been diagnosed with ADHD that I know full well that it is an ADHD thing. Um, and it's something that I really do want to work on. And hopefully going through this podcast will help me take some of this on board. And I just want to be really honest, because we're two people that very different people that are sat here with different relationships with money. And I think you're either really tight with ADHD, because I think that comes from a control that's actually a dopamine hit, not seeing the money go up. Um, or you're like me and you're just have no concept of money, you're reckless and you just impulse buy things for that quick dopamine hit.
Mm. I'm like either end of the spectrum, and it just depends on the mood that I'm in. Like, I'm like, either like really need to be savings, or I'm like, need to buy this random thing that I saw on TikTok shop that I really need.
Yeah. TikTok shop.
It's just like,
gosh.
there is no in between for me. It's either one side or the other. But hopefully this guide will help anyone who struggles with ADHD and with their money. So we've put down on our list here our top 10 rules. And rule 1 I've got is no credit cards. And I just want to note that when we say no credit cards, this is very dependent on the type of person you are. Because I only recently got a credit card in the last year. Because I wanted to get points for travel, and like get Amex points and be able to use them on things, because that's more fun. It gamifies it. But it is more about realizing the type of person you are with money. If you see a credit card and you see it as it's free money, or you're using credit cards to pay off debts and other things, and you're thinking, I'm just pushing it back, and I don't have to deal with it, then just don't get credit cards. Like, if you're not going to be able to get a credit card and use it wisely, then maybe it's not a good idea for you to get a credit card.
No, I have never had a credit card. I have Mongo. I do have Monzo Flex, which seems a little bit I don't know, but I mean, Klarna feels a bit like a credit card in a way for me, just, but it's never really a good idea, because you just end up in debt at the end of the month, and you've got to. But it feels like free money. If I got given a with credit card with £10,000 limit on it, I would be like, oh, I'll be really good with this credit card. I won't use it. And then by the end of the week, I spent £1,000. Oh, it's all right. I'll pay it back, and it all just adds up.
Yeah.
And you end up with so much more so much more stress than what you needed.
And it's true as well, because I think people with ADHD, like, because we live very much in the moment and very impulsively, you know, you get a credit card and you'll have like £10,000 on it, and you're like, well, I can spend it all. I don't have to worry about this now.
Yes.
It's even the same thing with Klarna. You're like, I don't have to worry about that money right now. I can worry about it in 30 days. And you just keep putting it off, and then 30 days come and you're like, fuck, I've got to actually pay this. But in the moment when you're like, I need to buy this thing,
About it.
you're not worrying about it in the future. So, you know, if you're using credit cards to overspend and transfer debt and things like that, just make yourself a rule. Don't get a credit card. Just don't rely on. Just don't do it. Don't get a Monzo Flex. Like, get rid of the overdraft. I have a rule myself from credit cards, is that, like, say for example, if in my debit account I've only got like £800.
Yeah.
Because then you get stuck in the loop of, oh, well, I'm just delaying it the next month, the next month, the next month. So if you do have a credit card, try and use it as if it is your bank account, as if it is your debit account, and just spend what you have rather than spending above what that is, so that it doesn't come back to bite you like in 30 days when you actually have to pay it off.
Yeah.
Rule 2, automate every single bill. Make every single thing that is a bill, like rent, electricity.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do it as if like you have to remember to pay it, because then obviously you're gonna forget. And then you're gonna be stuck with like interest fees and extra things, because you've paid it late because you've forgotten it. So if you just put in like direct debits and standing orders to yourself, it makes it a lot easier that the money's just automatically gone and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've definitely had times where I haven't paid things back. What was it? I think it was like a dental treatment that I got or something, and I got it on a buy now, pay later. But I didn't set up a direct debit for it. Didn't realize I wasn't paying it back, and then ended up with a fine and a letter through the door because I hadn't set up the direct debit.
Yeah. And because it generally just like, you just forget about it. You don't even think that it's a thing. But like, there is a lot of shame and there is a lot of guilt around it. So what I would suggest as well is, if the thought of setting all these direct debits up and things feels really daunting for you, like, have a trusted person with you that you can sit with and like help go through it, because I could not tell you like all the differences between like electricity bills and like different letters and things like this. Like, that feels overwhelming to me. But if you can actually sit down with someone and like go through it and be like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. Like, if the systems are set in place, that someone else has helped you with, it will just make your life a lot easier. Like, just being able to take the consciousness out of it, if that makes sense, of just it being automatic. Rule 3, I think you're gonna like this rule. Redirect the dopamine. So I think this is quite an interesting thing. I've got written down here that ADHD brains don't chase owning things. And I really relate to this. Like, it's not actually the item itself that like gets me excited. It's like the item's actually irrelevant in the end, but it's like, you know, the research of it, the decision, the purchase of it. It's like a whole process of like deciding I need this new thing, and then researching everything about this new thing, and then getting the new thing and waiting for it to arrive and all of that, and then it comes and then you got it and you
you're really happy for a moment though. That's like me with my curtains. I've been researching curtains, and I'm like so into getting these curtains. I've been measuring. I mean, I don't care about it as much anymore, but my lord, I'd be so happy if they arrived, my new curtains. I haven't ordered them yet, but I can imagine. And then I'd be like, need to change something else about my room now. And then it's like all you've got is the dopamine, this short dopamine hit, and then you're on to the next thing. So yeah, redirect that dopamine somewhere else. Go to the gym, maybe. When you think about when I want to buy something, go to the gym, because I'm probably just lacking dopamine.
Yeah, give it 24 hours. Like, do I actually do all the research for it and then just don't buy it? But yeah, like that's so much easier. Like you just like focus on it. Yeah. I've put here as a top tip, which I personally did, is like get your dopamine from finding, like, that sounds so boring, but like the best savings account, or like your ISA or your stocks and shares. Interest rates, you'd research like curtains that you want, turn it into a game. Who wins if you don't touch it for a month, like you do, because you get the interest from it. And I remember like looking into like all the different savings accounts and like finding one that had like 5% interest, and like the interest that I get on it is like so much every single month that it is free money. I'm getting free money through the interest. And stocks and shares is really exciting, because you look at it and you see it like going up, and I'm like, I haven't even touched it.
Mhm.
And even like I say with my Amex, I find that like a game, because like we're going to Albania in June. I didn't have to pay for my flight.
Yeah,
because I had so many points from my Amex that it paid off for my flight. So that was like a fun thing for me, that it was like, I've redirected that dopamine of, instead of buying something that I actually don't need, I've researched like all the different savings accounts and things like that will actually benefit me in the long run. Not saying that it's easy, because like honestly, I know I would so much rather research something fun to buy and be able to use and play with than like researching. Yeah, but in the lighter and it's account, I mean, use your hyper focus to your advantage, like go down a rabbit hole of interest and savings. Fun things that will get you money. And even if it's like
that's a sensible, mature thing to do.
it would be the sensible, mature thing to do.
Only keep what you need in your current account. So, yeah, we will spend whatever is there, and I will spend whatever is there. My old work friend used to call me payday millionaire, because I'd get paid and I'd see all this money in my current account. I was living at home at the time as well, so I didn't have to pay rent, and there'd just be an order, because I used to get my parcels delivered to work, because my parents, I was living at home with my parents at the time, and they weren't in for parcels to be delivered. And you'd know when it'd been payday, because Emily would have like ASOS parcels or Motel Rocks, whatever it is that I used to shop at the time. And what it meant is that by the first week, half my salary had gone, because I spent it all on clothes. And what I should have actually done is just kept what I needed in my current account. So what is coming out this month? Okay, so I've got 4 weekends where I'm going out for drinks. What budget, how much you're going to need for each weekend. Also putting them into little pots as well is really good.
This is actually, if you taught me this,
Yeah.
I saw you doing this, and I stole it off of you.
Can't say that I'm actually doing it at the moment,
but on Monzo they've got like
Monzo's amazing.
If you have the Monzo perks plan or whatever, I started paying for it, it's like £7 a month. I've moved everything over to Monzo now. Not that we're sponsored by Monzo. I wish we were. But you can have like virtual cards. You can set up different virtual cards for things, and it's so easy.
So good.
It's like, say for example, you can set it up on Monzo that when your salary comes in, it automatically sorts your salary for you.
Really?
So it like automatically puts X amount into your savings. Yeah. Or you could put like X amount on buying clothes card, X amount on subscriptions, X amount on this or that. And it's so good, because then really good. The money, it's not like it just goes into my account and I can see this big chunk of money that I can spend on everything.
Yeah.
It's like set into the little cards, and so it feels a little bit more manageable.
Yeah. And do you know what? I think that we actually don't have an excuse to not know how to budget, because we have AI.
Yeah.
And I just put my salary into ChatGPT at the time, put in what bills I have each month, my plans for the month, how much I spend on coffee and whatever else. And it just created each pot, how much I could put in each pot, how much I could put in my savings, and how much I'd ideally like to save each month. And it budgets it all for you. For someone who's shit at maths, I would never have even tried to do that and figure it out. But we have AI now, like that can sort out your salary for you each month.
There's so many apps as well. I don't use them, but I've seen some of my friends using them, like Emma or like Plum or something like that. And it like looks at all your spending and basically tells you how much you're spending. It sends you like a text message, like once a month, being like, this is what you can spend on this and that. And so it's so much easier rather than just sorting it out yourself and making assumptions on what you should spend on. You just have it like, if it's there and it's helpful, like you might as well take advantage of it.
I completely agree. There are so many things out there now that can help. Okay, rule number 5, cancel everything you're not actively using. Very, very important, because I think we often forget how many subscriptions we have on our phone.
Oh my God, so many. Or like, when you do a free trial of something, I do it all the time. I get a free trial of something and then I forget to cancel a free trial and it comes out of my bank account. I'm like, for fuck's sake, well, I now spent 50 quid on this thing that I used for an hour and then subscription on.
Yeah, I did that when I decided that when I was really hungover and I was making like mine and Marcus's baby and yours and Matt's baby and a generator. And then I was like, I just was doing it. And also, by the way, it's called Baby Generator. Never ever use that app. It is so bad. The pictures that it generated. And then £20 came out of my account next month because I forgot to cancel it.
Didn't it make me and Matt's baby like been coming out of like a pipe or something?
Yeah, literally. It looked like a boy from a horror film, and he was just literally crawling up a pipe, like so shit. So yeah, just cancel them. And if you ever sign up for a free trial, 3-day free trial, I cancel it immediately.
Do it immediately. Just do it as soon as you can. And I always hate ones where it's like a free trial and then when you cancel it, it cancels the account. It's like, no, you've given me a 7-day free trial, so stick to your words.
Yeah.
Subscription being cancelled. Or like just set reminders in your calendar. Like if you know that it's gonna come out on like the 21st of the month, put into your calendar on the 20th, like cancel that subscription. And also just remind yourself when those subscriptions are going to come out, because sometimes, like say for example, with Amazon Prime, like a yearly for Amazon Prime, and like I'm not going to cancel Amazon Prime because I use it so much, but it comes as a massive shock sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, what, I think it's like 60-70 quid for the year when it comes out of my account and I'm not expecting it. So like I just sometimes put it into my calendar now. So I know to expect it. So I'm like, instead of doing a massive ASOS order today, I know that my Amazon Prime money is coming out. So I won't do that because I know that that's going to come out.
Afford it. Yeah, that's really important. I also think as well, just going as annoying as it might be, actually going through your bank statement and just looking at what comes out, because I've done this before, and it's easier on your phone subscriptions because you can go into Apple and you can look at your subscriptions, but you never know what you've subscribed for. Like I did it once for a CV website. I didn't realize that they'd had £40 coming out my account for like 7 months because I just hadn't checked and I didn't even notice. So yeah, just actually going back and looking through your statement can really help.
Even if it's like on your email as well, because I remember I had I've got a Samsung phone, but like my laptop is Microsoft, and I remember like I bought something through like the Microsoft store and was doing a subscription on that, and then I didn't even realize I was paying for it, and I haven't used it in like a year because it was on Microsoft, and it's like I wouldn't check through my emails and think what I'm going through. So it is not fun. It is really boring. There are also apps that you can get that will do it for you. You to use, and it tells you all your subscriptions and what you're paying for, and think, how much am I actually using this? How much is this subscription helping me? Do you need this subscription? Like,
hoarding, isn't it?
It's like hoarding. Like I know somebody who's got they've got like a Tidal. Is it Tidal? The music one.
No,
it's like, I think it was like the Jay-Z one, something like that, but they had a Tidal subscription and a Spotify subscription on. Why do you need both?
Just never know.
What's going to be on one that's not on the other? So yeah. Yeah, I'd say have a real deep clean out of your subscriptions. If you haven't used it in the last 6 months, just cancel it because you can always resubscribe at some point.
Exactly. We have mentioned this rule number 6, auto savings, or it won't happen. We've mentioned this automatic. Make sure that you have money that automatically comes out of your account. Obviously, I didn't know about the pots. I know about what you can do for savings, but that's really interesting that you can do it with pots. So food shop, clothes, holiday, whatever it is, coffee, and just have it automatically come out when you get your salary.
I think like having a direct debit to my savings account on payday has been the best thing ever, because usually I'll be like, I don't really know, I don't really want to save this month. I'd rather have that money to spend. But because as soon as I get paid, it then instantly goes into my savings account. It like forces me to save that money. And I wouldn't do it if it didn't automatically do it, because I'd just be like, oh, well, there's an extra bit of money that you can use and buy something nice for yourself. Also, Monzo. We're going to keep talking about Monzo today.
Oh, Monzo's great.
If you don't have the Monzo automatic roundups, I love Monzo.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like free money.
It's free money, and it's like automatically rounds up, and it's like you wouldn't think that a couple p like here and there makes a difference.
It does.
But then you look after a couple of months, and you're like, oh my god, I've saved like nearly 100 quid just from like random things being round up. I'm also doing the Monzo savings challenge. Yeah, it's like 1p every day, and then like it goes up, so it's like 2p and then 3p. And it feels a lot easier. But then it was like by the end of the year, it's like you'll have like 1,000 something pounds saved. But I'm getting to the point where it's like nearly like £4 a day. It's not 4, but it's like it feels like it is.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing that, but I don't know. It's just somewhere in the app, isn't it?
Also, does anyone win like the 10k savings thing on Monzo?
You've had the double paydays for double salary. Have you seen that one?
I've never seen anyone.
I was saying that to someone the other day. I was like, I don't actually think this exists. I think it's a scam.
It's like the bills back or like the double payday. I've never known anyone.
No one. That doesn't exist.
Watch me next month.
Yeah. I'll literally cry. Please double our salary. Fill the basket, don't buy the basket. Well, go shopping, add everything, and then basically what your brain wants is the dopamine of seeing that basket full of clothes, but then close the tab, wait 24 hours before you decide to buy anything.
I actually do think this is a really good rule to have. Because there have been so many times, right, where I've been on ASOS and I've filled my basket full of things, and then I've just bought it instantly, and then like all clothes comes through and like, I actually don't like half of these. And then when I started actually using this rule and filling my basket, and then I don't do 24 hours because 24 hours feels like too long to wait. But even if it's like an hour or two, I guarantee you'll fill your basket full of clothes that in the moment you're like, that's so cute. And then an hour or two later, you'll go back to your basket and look at it and be like, that's fucking ugly as shit. And it helps cut it down so much more. Or like you put stuff in your basket and then you come back to it and you're like, I've actually got a top that looks exactly like that.
Yeah, you always forget what's in your wardrobe as well. Your brain has a very good way of making you think you don't have any clothes. But I think that I just can't actually bother to go and look in my wardrobe a lot of the time.
It's not, if it's not at the front of my wardrobe and I don't wear it every day, then like it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, yeah. But yeah, I think it's more about the craving. Wasn't about the thing, it was the feeling of having the thing. So let yourself have that feeling, close the tab, and then most likely you're not going to want to buy it the next day.
Yeah.
And it is true.
It is. You get so excited about like looking through it and like putting it into the basket and imagining it.
Imagine yourself wearing it.
And then like she like give it a bit of time and then you get over it. Rule number 8, split your salary into weekly chunks. This is a good rule to go by, like especially if you're someone who's paid monthly. Because I remember back when I was like a teaching assistant, I was paid weekly because it was agency work. And being paid weekly was like felt so much easier because you knew that each week there was more money coming in. You knew every Friday.
Yeah.
So like budgeting wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
And then to go from that to then being paid once a month, it was like it felt like a windfall, like my brain wasn't calibrated for it. So the easiest way around it is don't work in monthly budgets. You know, if you get paid monthly, and you struggle with that, split into weeks and split the week's portion into a spendable amount. So like we said about having like little pots,
Yeah.
if you could have pots or anything like that, you can have week 1, week 2, week 3, instead of thinking you've just been paid this big amount and you've got to make it last you the month. You don't have to budget how everyone else budgets. Just because everyone else does a monthly budget, you can do a weekly budget and just give yourself how much you're spending each week.
Yeah.
And like you could always have it as like if you had 2 bank accounts, and you put your monthly salary into one bank account and you had like a direct debit that went into another bank account every week, it would feel like you had a Friday payday.
Yeah. I know a lot of, I know one of my friends does that. She just has 1 week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. She's on Monzo and she just has like money in each and then has a savings. And what it does is it allows you to budget more because you're going in there and you're checking. Am I, let's say, I don't know, hypothetically, put £400 per week in a pot, and you for the week, and you're going back and you're more aware of how much money do I have left for the week now out of that £400, for example. So I think it stops you from just tap 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 at
Doing
everything.
it. And I think as well for people with ADHD, right, time blindness is such a real thing. And so like 1 week you'll be like, I've got so much this week. I've got like 3 weeks left until payday, blah, blah, blah. We don't have that concept of time. And so being able to think of like, we need to budget over a certain amount is really difficult. So if you split your salary into weekly chunks, it kind of removes the need. Rule 9, and I actually think this might be the most important rule out of all the rules. Stop waiting for future you. The version of you who wakes up suddenly organised, good with money, on top of an Excel spreadsheet, like really organised, and that's not going to happen, right? That's realistically, it's not going to happen. She is not coming. That day is not going to arrive. And it's not a criticism. Like I'm not criticizing myself. I'm not criticizing anyone else who struggles with the money. But it's a pattern. And you have to understand your own patterns and who you are as a person. And all your future plans are contingent on waking up as a different person. So if you're constantly sat there thinking, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to change my life and I'm going to have this app and blah, 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 I'm going to be amazing at money, that's not going to happen. And so the rule is to build systems for who you actually are. Don't build them for the ideal version of your person. You know, like obviously we've sat here and we've said like the direct debits and the auto savings and the weekly allowance. I think these are good rules because none of them actually require you to be a different person. And that's the whole point, right? I'm not saying you're not going to go out and spend like a lot of money on something that you actually don't need.
Curtains,
Pilates, training course. But these don't require you to be any different. Like, you're going to still spend stuff, but it's more about having those
systems
in place. You know, don't build bullshit systems is basically what I'm saying. You know, build systems
that work and that are easy. Okay, rule number 10, final rule, get a money buddy. So find someone who can be completely honest with you about money, whether that be a partner, friend, family member, whoever you feel comfortable talking about that with, because I feel like salary is a really, can be a really vulnerable topic for a lot of people. I don't feel comfortable talking about my salary, to be honest, unless it's people that are close to me. So yeah, finding someone that you feel comfortable to talk to. I think that I definitely need to do this, although I feel really embarrassed about my money spending habits. And to think that someone would actually go into my Monzo account and see what I spend money on actually would be probably really confronting. It's probably what I need for someone to be like, Emily, what are you doing? So yeah, having someone who's able to help you with your money journey.
Also, like, I think it's not something to be embarrassed about. Like, there is a lot of shame and stuff around money, and like, I know you sit there and think you would hate for someone to see it, But if it's like someone that you trust, like no one's going to sit there and like, I wouldn't sit there and go, oh my God, Emily, I cannot believe the amount of money you've spent on matcha or like something like that. You know, it's like having that person that you trust that you can be open with them. And I also think, you know, we look a lot on social media and expect a certain way of like, this is how you should be spending, this is how much you should be saving, and we compare ourselves to other people, and it's like you have no idea what's happening with other people. And it's like, if you think you're shit at money, there is 100% someone else in the world who is, you know, 10 times worse than you. So yeah, I think communicating about it, finding that person who you feel comfortable talking about money with, and like if there is a person that you feel comfortable, you know, being able to actually sit down and help you with your finances, like go through your statements, go through how much you're earning, how much you're saving, being able to set you up with those accounts, that is really helpful. And I will completely put my hands up and say that has been the biggest like game changer for me with money, because before I started dating Matt, I had no savings accounts. I was being paid weekly. I was spending every single dime that I had. Dime? I'm not even American. Every dime that I had, I was buying things that I did not need. I could not tell you what an ISA was. I could not tell you what an S&P 500 is. But because Matt is someone who is so financially minded, and I trusted him to be able to go through like my bank account and like my savings and let him understand it to me. I won't lie, I'm not a very good student when it comes to someone sitting there and talking about money. So thank you, Matt. He's probably going to listen to this. Thank you, Matt, for sitting there and talking through me with all the money stuff. It is like the only time in my life now that I've been in a place where like my finances are actually good. Like I'm not a millionaire. I'm not saying that, but I have a savings account, which is already better than I ever was before. So
yeah, exactly. And I think having someone as well who this is, you know, there's a lot of trust in this, but if you can have someone who's able to log into your bank account, and see your money declining and be able to, I mean, obviously you can have apps that do it, these apps that do basically that, but maybe it's someone that can look in your account and be like, you know, it's a bit invasive, but if you have that conversation and say, look, if you are noticing that my money's declining and I'm spending a lot of money on matcha, you know, going into Zara or whatever after work, and probably shouldn't be spending £60 on clothes, that they're able to spot that and make you aware of it. Because one of the things that I struggle with the most as someone with ADHD is actually opening my bank account and seeing how much money I've spent. So I avoid it.
yeah, because it's like you put a blind eye to it.
Because it's shame.
Yeah.
What I can't see won't hurt me kind of thing. So I just won't log in. And I can imagine that a lot of people with ADHD do that too. And that's why you end up in debt. 'Cause you remember the money that went into your account when you got paid. And that that amount feels so much bigger than it actually is, especially when you live in London and, you know, so much money goes out on rent and bills before you even have any disposable income.
But yeah, I think I was just having someone that like keeps you accountable as well, and then can and put you in check, and you don't feel criticized by them when they do. But yeah, those are our top 10 rules for ADHD Girls Guide to Money. Hopefully some of those strategies helped you. We're not money experts. We're not geniuses with it. But those are just some things,
hopefully useful tips. And I just want to say that there is a lot of shame around money and ADHD, but it's okay. And I think actually one of the first things you can do is to acknowledge it and then go from there. And if you're listening to this, then maybe that's the first step of acknowledging that you may have a problem with money.
Exactly. You're not going to be Martin Lewis overnight. Give yourself a little bit of a break, but hopefully you can get these strategies in place and it will help you feel a little bit more secure in it.